Hey guys, so last time we visited, I gave some tips about safety while you're taking a Lyft or an Uber or other type of ride. And I also, this past week, attended the NRA annual meetings, which was held in Indianapolis, Indiana this year. While I was there, lo and behold, I did take a couple rides in the Lyft. And I will tell you, obviously, I'm still here, things went okay, but something that I did note, and I know that it had been mentioned by these companies, is the actual drivers of the vehicles are working on safety as well, because there is that issue. They're at risk also picking up strangers. So remember to refer to that last video and look for safety tips so that you can be safe and enjoy your ride-sharing experience. I am going to give you a little overview recap of my experience at NRA. This is not my first NRA. I've been to many NRA meetings before. This one, however, before I went, I would say a little anxious. I don't know if anxious is the word, but I was not excited to go because of some news that was released just before the meetings. And this is something that a lot of NRA members have known for years. It is something that we've wondered when it would be coming out in the media. And I'll put some links to all the articles and topics that I'm mentioning in the notes below. So an article was released by the New Yorker, and this was published just days before the meetings. This article was titled Secrecy, Self-Dealing, and Greed at the NRA. The gist of the article, just to summarize, it was about Wayne LaPierre and his relationship with Ackerman McQueen, and Ackerman McQueen is a media company that does all the promotion for NRA. I've actually done the tips and tactics for NRA. I'll put a link to those as well. I've done those, and it was Ackerman McQueen that came and filmed the tips with us so that we could provide some safety and insight to our friends and potential hunters. So Ackerman McQueen actually does do great things. The problem lies in the underlying, as the article mentioned, greed. There are people who are making a lot of money with contracts with Ackerman. And so just to give you a bit of insight, Susan LaPierre, she actually works for Ackerman. So there is a little bit of conflicts of interest within the board of NRA and Ackerman McQueen. And in New York State, the NRA filed a suit against Ackerman McQueen, and that is where this article came. As I said, read that article. It's really long, but quite honestly, there is a lot of really good information in there, and if you're wondering about this whole scenario, you'll learn a lot. You can also follow AmmoLand News. They've released a lot of information. They are always on top of it and in the front lines when it comes to this. The Wall Street Journal also released information. They released a report, and you can find links to that. I will share that. So during the meetings, Oliver North approached Wayne LaPierre and he requested that he step down from the NRA. Wayne LaPierre refused. He's not going to do it. And the really strange thing that happened is the following morning, Oliver North resigned. So he resigns, and now we've got Wayne LaPierre. I actually was fortunate enough, I got to go to the forum event where I got to see our Vice President Pence speak. We got to see President Trump speak. I got to see Steve Scalise, who, when I was in Washington, D.C., I got to meet him and spoke on Capitol Hill with him, but he spoke, Oliver North spoke, Wayne LaPierre spoke, and Ted Cruz spoke. So the forum was really a great thing, something that I will provide you an insight in that I don't think you'll see in a lot of publications, is when Wayne LaPierre came out to address the NRA members at the forum, his typical speech that he gives year in and year out is what he presented. It was the rallying of the crowd and come on, we're the NRA and we need to band together and so forth, his typical message. However, it was met with cricket sounds. It was met with not a lot of hurrahs, not a lot of cheering, and I think the primary reason is because the members want answers. And I was told by a board member that they were directed prior to the meetings not to speak to one another. That is something that I'm on several boards, and I think we probably would have called a meeting immediately prior the event, but that didn't happen. They actually met the Monday after the annual meetings, and that meeting was a 9.5-hour event. There was a brief session where members were allowed in, and then they went to executive session. Members were kicked out for approximately 9 hours, and then they allowed members back in after that. And basically there was no information. It's very hush-hush, which I understand the needing for a hush-hush because there actually is potential legal events happening in New York State. So NRA members, we are a little up in arms right now and wondering the status of the National Rifle Association, where it's going to go, and really honestly, maybe you can tell me in the comments below, do you know of an organization that will protect our gun rights that we could transfer to? Because if the NRA were to fall apart or be forced to cease and desist, who do we have fighting for our gun rights? Who is going to save our Second Amendment? And that is where we've always put our support in the NRA, because they are on the front lines, they are lobbying, they are trying to protect us. And I know several people will go, but the red flag laws and but the bump stocks. And something about that is with the red flag laws, I don't believe, and this is me speaking, I don't believe the NRA supported that. What happens with a lot of these issues is it's going to pass, which the red flag law passed like overwhelmingly. When you know it's going to pass, what you do is you regroup at the last minute, you write in amendments and you write in stipulations in there to protect people. And part of what was written in, and I can't confirm whether the NRA was a part of this, but something that was amended in there is that only doctors and immediate family and so forth can report you for a red flag, where initially the red flag law was anybody, Joe Schmo, could report you if they thought you were a threat. So there is that. I mean, at some point, if you know the law is going to go through, you have to ensure there are safety features in the law. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. I would love to get some feedback, but I'm just giving you my personal opinion and insight. And I also, like I said, I'll put links to articles that have facts and you can read those. Some of them are very lengthy, but they are worth the read. And I hope that we will still have an NRA. I hope that we will still have someone to support and protect our rights. Something at the NRA that I wanted to mention is I really always have a really good time when I attend the meetings. Part of why I go is meeting new people, making new friends, seeing old friends. And one of the things that I really enjoy, and this is before the actual convention even begins, is I am part of a women's mentorship group with NRA women. And we have our meeting the day before the meetings start. And that is always just amazing. And hopefully we can pass things on to other women, to future generations, and even to men. And something that was really exciting is I told you I went to the forum. Well, that took a whole day because it's a long event. So I kind of missed a lot of floor time. So I got to be on the floor Saturday, and there's another YouTube channel. It's called The Kentucky Patriot, and it is a gun channel. You should check it out. But I actually got to go to the Henry booth, and I met the Kentucky Patriot and his camera lady, who is his wife, behind the scenes. But I got to meet her, which was really great because you always wonder who's behind the camera. But also I met their daughter, and her smile and excitement just really, it fills you with joy, and it really made my day, like the whole meetings, because it's so great to see future generations that are being taught firearm safety. They're being educated so they don't have fear, and they are also becoming responsible. And so what I did is I presented her with one of the National Shooting Sports Foundation's challenge coins, and it's a +1 program mentorship. So it's a coin where I presented her and asked her to please share her knowledge, responsibility, and respect with other people, and hopefully she can pass that on. So +1, and I don't know, hopefully plus several, but that's the movement. And so that was a true highlight of my meetings. Now I flew home and then immediately got in the truck, drove to Montana, and helped my daughter pack and store her stuff for college because she's starting a summer internship. And then drove back and have been going to my Safari Club International board meetings. And I mentioned the big thing, the amazing rush. I will be taking off for that soon, so I'll share that with you as much as I can. Again, on my social media, I'll try to share some stories whenever I can. I don't really know what the whole schedule is going to be like, but I do hope to share it with you. So don't forget to follow and subscribe and let me know your thoughts on all these issues. It always is good to see someone else's perspective. I'd love to know what you think. I hope you'll subscribe before you go. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys.